Thoughts on the latest food safety breach. TV dinners can help you understand portion size and lose weight, and a new website dedicated to product reviews. For October 19, 2011, this is Food News Today. Good morning. We're now streaming both on our Supermarket Guru Facebook fan page and on foodnewstoday.com. If you have any thoughts or comments on today's show, just tweet me at Phil Lempert or send me a note on Facebook. We also have a live chat. Food News Today is sponsored by ConAgra Foods, who shares with me the desire to provide the most current, interesting, and unbiased food news. So I've got to ask you, are you dressing up for Halloween this year? I am. And if you dress up as anything food, I'm not. Post your picture and a brief description on our Supermarket Guru Facebook fan page. Now, the best food costume will win an iPad 2. It's now time for today's useless food history fun facts. You'll never guess what today is. Try. Just take a guess. It's National Seafood Bisque Day. I told you, you would never guess that one. Also, today, in 1917, a World War I Salvation Army volunteer made donuts for the first time for homesick U.S. soldiers who were fighting in France. The donuts went on to become the symbol of the spirit of the Salvation Army, and also Homer Simpson's reason for living.
Donuts.
Do you have any food fun fact you'd like to share? Let me know. For more interesting and fun food tidbits, just check out foodreference.com. Oh, and by the way, the fruit of the week is apple. Submit your pick for next week's Fruit of the Week. Maybe your favorite fruit will win, and we'll send you a Canvas Supermarket Guru tote bag. Now to our first story. The farm to fork is an extremely convoluted process, especially in produce, and the recent Listeria cantaloupe outbreak demonstrates this to a T. Although the exact farm the cantaloupe came from was able to be identified, Jensen Farm in Colorado, the rest, where the cantaloupe ended, is just a blur. Why? Well, the produce on the dinner table may take 4 or 5 different stops before it reaches your plate. First is the field, of course, then the packing house, where it's cleaned and packaged. It may even stop at a processor where it's further cut or bagged, and then to the distributor who sells the produce to various retailers. Before it hits the store, it ends up in their retail distribution center, where it's sent out to the various individual stores. Finally, it's stacked on display at the grocery store in the produce department. And that's just the trip for domestic produce. Close your eyes and only imagine what imported produce must go through. Listeria is just one of the many bacteria that has caused food safety nightmares. It's a bacteria that's found in soil and water. If ingested, it can cause fever, muscle aches, gastrointestinal symptoms, and even death. According to a recently published study by a British medical research group, as many as 20% of Americans, that's 60 million people, are more vulnerable to food illnesses due to their age or health conditions that can affect their immune systems. So how should you take care of your produce to avoid these foodborne illness problems? First of all, make sure you wash the fruit or vegetable thoroughly before you cut it. You can even cut it under running water. And then make sure you always use produce sprays, which are not soap, but citrus-based. The acid actually kills the bacteria. It's also useful to use a produce brush to get into those nooks and crannies on produce that have a rough skin like cantaloupe. Many consumers choose to purchase produce from farmers markets. Yes, you can ask questions directly to the person that's growing their food, but you still have to follow the same cleaning directions. Highlighting locally grown foods is also gaining in popularity. What about you? Do you have any tricks or tips that you might have to avoid foodborne illnesses? Again, just post them on our Facebook page. The Occupy Wall Street crowd is gaining a lot of media attention these days, but one local restaurant found an interesting way to capitalize on this movement. So what's going on in food down in Lower Manhattan? Well, Liberato's Pizza has been delivering hundreds of the $15 Occupy, get it? Occupy? Pizza to protesters. It's a pepperoni pizza. Now the pepperoni is placed around the circumference and then across the diameter. I wonder how it tastes, but it's New York pizza, so it's got to be pretty good. although it's not Star Tavern Pizza from New Jersey. For our nutrition story, we discuss portion-controlled frozen meals eaten as part of a reduced-calorie eating plan. This can help consumers learn proper portioning. That, according to research findings recently presented by ConAgra Foods, our partner. We know that today, a major contributor to calorie overconsumption is portion distortion. Supersize me, anyone? Well, as part of the study, participants between the age of 25 and 65 replaced at least 10 meals per week. That's 7 lunches and at least 3 dinners with healthy choice meals, which are obviously portion controlled. Participants accompanied the meals with 2 or 3 food items, including salads, skim milk, and fruit, and were then encouraged to increase lifestyle activity and walk up to 150 minutes per week. Participants lost an average of 6 pounds and saw their waistlines reduce by about an inch. According to Kristen Reimers, PhD nutrition manager at ConAgra Foods, multiple studies have shown that right-sized portions play a vital role in helping people to lose weight. Consumers all reported that eating healthy choice meals for lunch and or dinner for those 30 days helped them better understand the proper portion size. This is what makes healthy frozen meals so powerful. The food is easy and convenient to prepare, tastes great, and takes the guesswork out of portion control, and at the same time is teaching people about proper portions at other meal times. Do you love new product reviews as much as I do? Well, then you should hear about a new website, Consumer, which rates products not only from expert reviewers, but you and your social network friends can also weigh in on the products. Luckily, we have Ryan Charles, the CEO of Consumer, here to tell us all about it. So tell me, what's the basis and the concept behind Consumer?
Well, Consumer is a user review website for grocery and drugstore products. Anyone can go to Consumer and rate and review over 50,000 products ranging from frozen foods to skincare, even things like mouthwash and laundry detergent.
Now, we have formed a partnership together where you're now going to add our hits and misses on your review. We're going to take some of your reviews in here. I guess the question is, for all of our viewers, how important are consumer reviews?
I think it's very important. I mean, you consider that when you go to the supermarket and drugstore, it's still very much a trial and error experience. And with the average family spending somewhere between, upwards of $300 a month on, grocery type products, we start to realize that it is important for people to make smart decisions when they go to the store and they buy everyday types of products.
Now, we obviously understand and underscore the importance of food reviews, but what about some of the other non-food reviews? What have you learned from that?
Well, what's interesting about that is there's, really a lot of passion when it comes to people reviewing things like household goods and cleaning products. And you can see that people have experience trying out organic and green products, and they want to share, that information, with everyone so that they can also make, good decisions. So, I mean, there are so many categories, especially at the drugstore where, buying things like a moisturizer is important, or if you're picking up a new shampoo, depending on the type of hair that you have. And those products generally are pretty pricey. You don't come out of the average drugstore, whether it's a CVS or a Duane Reade, which we have here in New York, without paying a few dollars for a lot of those products. So you want to make sure that you're making a smart decision.
So Ryan, I have to ask you, this is the last question. Based on the reviews that users have put on the site, has there been any products that you personally didn't know about and that you're now a regular user of?
Well, one area that I've noticed in terms of products are the 7th generation products, right? So I had been interested in, being a little bit more green and, buying these types of products, but didn't know which ones were working well. And I noticed that 7th generation, for example, had really kind of come out on top when it came to organic products that work very well, green products that work well. So now I use the 7th generation laundry detergent based on the reviews on the website.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tweet me at Phil Lempert or visit our Supermarket Guru Facebook page and post your comments on any of today's segments or any other thoughts that you have about the food world. Have a terrific food week, and thanks for watching.